When the A's signed Scott Kazmir to start the 2014 season, they got exactly what they were looking for. A veteran with a renewed sense of the game, looking to prove himself after a few setbacks in his young career. The lefty has been a leader in the clubhouse and helped the young arms along the way. With the trade deadline looming, no matter what happens to Kazmir, he has left a mark in Oakland. Tonight, Kazmir and the A's take on a Mariners team that has had the A's number as of late, winning 5 straight. It's game 1 of 4. A's-Mariners next. It's Thursday Night Baseball from the O.co Coliseum. A's back in the AL West, and they're fine with that as they will take on the Mariners, and it'll be Scott Kazmir, the left-hander, making the start in the first of this 4-game set. It's the Oakland A's and the Seattle Mariners, and you'll see game 1 right here on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball, along with Eric Chavez. I'm Glenn Kuiper. So Scott Kazmir will be making his 16th start of the year. And Eric, his record is 4-5, so not a great record, but he's really pitched quite a bit better than the record shows.
Yeah, when they signed him 2 years ago, they wanted him to be a front-of-the-line starter, and he's done everything of that. Last year, 15 wins, All-Star vote. This year, obviously with the low ERA, 2.79. He's been phenomenal for the A's, and there's going to be a lot of teams that want him coming that trade deadline.
Yeah, and he's making his first start this year against the Mariners. Now, for the Mariners, their offense has really struggled, but no fault of Nelson Cruz. Remember, he hit 10 home runs in April. He's got 20 home runs on the year.
Yeah, and this guy, he's one of the better home run hitters we have in the league right now. And he had the good years in Texas, went to Baltimore last year, hit the 40 home runs. And you wondered if Safeco was going to take a bite out of him, and it hasn't really slowed him down. He's got 20 home runs now, on pace for 40. And this guy is a complete hitter, hits for average, gets on base, and one of the better hitters in the Mariners lineup.
And he's got a couple of those home runs against the A's, but it's amazing the Mariners still struggling to score runs, but they've played well against the A's. Seattle has won 5 of the 6 games played against the Athletics. So we're set for game 1 of the 4-game series from the Coliseum. It's the A's and the Mariners. We'll have lineups and first pitch right after this.
California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the new black pepper cheeseburger today, only at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Well, after seeing the Royals and then some interleague baseball with the Rockies, the A's are glad to see a division opponent as the Seattle Mariners are in town for a full 4-game series. So we're looking forward to that holiday weekend. And it should be a good weekend of baseball against these two division rivals. Game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. So it's 68 degrees. It's cooled off some after a couple of very hot days in the Bay Area. So another nice night for baseball between these two AL West teams. The fireworks tomorrow and then a couple of day games on Saturday and Sunday for this 4-game series. Here's the lineup tonight for the Seattle Mariners. It starts with Austin Jackson in center field and Robinson Cano at second. Nelson Cruz will be the DH. Kyle Seager is at third. Franklin Gutierrez is back in the big leagues. He'll be in left field. Mark Trumbo at right. Logan Morrison at first. Mike Zunino is your catcher. Chris Taylor, just brought back from the minor leagues, will be the shortstop.
And Seattle Mariners will be facing Scott Kazmir. Kaz will be looking to do what he's done ever since he's been in an A's uniform. Take the ball every 5th day, give the team a chance to win. His 4-5 record is not really indicative of how good he's pitched this year. His ERA is 2.79.
So defensively for the Athletics behind the lefty Kazmir, it's Mark Canha in left, Billy Burns in center, Josh Reddick in right, Laurie, Simeon, Zobrist, and Vogt around the infield with Josh Fegley doing the catching. So the A's took 2 out of 3 from the Colorado Rockies. The Mariners just finished up an interleague series as well. They swept 2 games from the Padres in San Diego. So Lloyd McClendon and his ball club not living up to the preseason expectations, but still time for them to turn things around. First pitch is hit foul down the right field line by the center fielder Austin Jackson.
7-0-7.
Jackson hitting .261 with 3 home runs and 15 RBIs. Umpires tonight: Marty Foster, Mark Wagner, Mike Winters, Mike Malinsky. And a quick 0-2 to Austin Jackson. Mariners come in 36-42. They're 9.5 games behind the Astros in the West, and they're in 4th place. They're 19-19 on the road. And they are a team that just has not been able to get on one of those hot streaks where they're winning 10 out of 12, 12 out of 14. They just have not been able to do that yet this year.
Yeah, and they're definitely a better team than that. I think the game that they had yesterday, Cano and Cruz going 6 for 10 with 2 homers, I think that's what they pictured, and I think they're going to be playing a lot better baseball in the second half.
So another 0-2 pitch to Austin Jackson. It's rolled on the ground to Simeon, who gets a nice hop, throws in time to get Jackson. So 1 out. The current AL West standings: the Astros, the Angels, and the Rangers are all off today. So it's just the A's and the Mariners playing. A good series by the A's. They could get out of the cellar. But the Astros, 47-34 and a 5-game lead over the Angels. Astros sitting on a 4-game winning streak with their off day. Well, it's good to see Sonny Gray back. Found out today it was salmonella.
Oh, really?
Is what he had. And
I thought it was diagnosed as something else yesterday. Salmonella.
It's a little scary. So he's back with the team. That's good. And Sonny Gray, his scheduled start is Sunday. Chris Bassett is still here, and nothing has been officially announced yet, but I think Sonny Gray is probably doubtful to pitch on Sunday.
Yeah, I think Bassett's going to get that start for sure.
So, but it's just good to see Sonny Gray back with the team. Robinson Cano on the ground right at Simeon, who is playing near second base, and that's a couple of ground ball outs here in the top of the first. And that'll bring up Nelson Cruz. But Eric, getting back to the Mariners, their longest winning streak this year is 4 games, and they've done that just once.
Yeah.
So they've kind of had, win 2, lose 2. Win 2, lose 3. They just haven't had that real, hey, we're playing good baseball right now, and that's the reason they're 36-42.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the A's, that inconsistent baseball, and they're a much better team than that.
It certainly seemed like it.
I think at the beginning of the year, if you would have picked Seattle and Oakland to be at the bottom of the heap in the West, I think a lot of people would have been shocked at that.
The Mariners, a poor month of June. They were 11-16 in June. Felix Hernandez is always good. He just needs some help.
They have the pieces.
Yeah,
they definitely have the pieces to do something. So.
Good swing by Nelson Cruz, fouls it back. So 10-12 in April. 14-14 in May, but again, the tough month of June.
Yeah.
So they're playing game 79 tonight, so they have plenty of time.
And they have the horses to catch up, that's for sure. They need Cano to get hot.
Swing and a miss by Cruz. Good first inning for Scott Kazmir. A couple of groundouts and a strikeout. Bottom of the first coming up, no score. The lineup tonight for the Athletics. Billy Burns will lead things off in center. Then Vogt at first, Zobrist at second. Billy Butler back in the cleanup spot. He's been a hot hitter. Fegley, Reddick, Laurie, Canna, and Simeon.
We have a 26-year-old Roenis Elias. They signed him back in 2011 out of Cuba. He's got a fastball, a curveball, slider, more like a slurve, and a changeup. He's got a lot of deception in his delivery, and he'll drop down with all of his pitches. He's given up 10 home runs this year, so the A's got to be patient, wait for their pitch, and do damage when it presents itself.
So lefty will face Burns, Vogt, and Zobrist here in the first inning. Burns a switch hitter, Zobrist a switch hitter.
What a find this guy's been, by the way.
And they've needed him. Some injuries to their starting rotation. Or are you talking about Billy Burns?
I'm talking about Billy Burns.
Yep, things are going well for Billy Burns. 320, a couple of home runs, 73 hits on the year. Hasn't really had one of those slumps yet. Seems to be one of those guys that with that kind of speed, he's not completely immune to slumps, but can always get those infield hits.
Yeah, definitely.
So Seager takes care of Burns in his first at bat. Gutierrez, Jackson, and Trumbo in the outfield. Seager, Taylor, Cano, Morrison on the infield, and Mike Zunino is the catcher.
You know, I was watching this on the video too from Roenis. He stands far on that left side of the rubber. kind of in the way of the left-hand hitters, makes it tough, and he also will drop down, and he'll drop down with that fastball and slider.
Well, he really
makes it tough on the left-hand hitters.
He did a nice job for the Mariners last year. He made 29 starts, won 10 games, ERA under 4. But even with that, he started this season in the minor leagues.
Right.
With James Paxton on the disabled list, Kuma on the disabled list. Rice in there, and not an easy at bat. Remember, he made his major league debut right here at the Coliseum last year.
Okay.
It was very early in the year, and he pitched well, got a no decision. First start against the A's this year. Cuba.
Seattle's definitely got some depth in the rotation and in the bullpen. Really good arms. So their future is looking pretty good.
So 3-1 to Stephen Vogt. On the ground, right to Cano. Scoops it up. So 2 outs. So let's go back to April 3rd of last year. Major league debut. First series of the year. Rennis Elias. So the A's had not seen him at that point. The stuff is pretty good.
Yeah.
This year 4-5. He signed with the Mariners in 2011. One and 0 to Ben Zobrist, 265, 5 home runs, 29 RBIs. Little slider in for a strike. And another slider for a strike, 85 miles an hour.
Yeah, we've talked about the A's struggles against left-handed pitchers, and I think at one point you got to make some changes and start looking off speed. Right-handers start taking that pitch to the opposite side of the field, and the left-handers staying in there going to left field.
Well, when lefties have started against the A's, they're 4-14 are the Athletics. They've been a little bit better lately against left-handed pitching, but it is still an issue. 2-2 now to Zobrist, with Butler hoping to get a chance to hit here in the first. So Kazmir had a 3-up, 3-down inning. Elias trying to do the same thing in the dirt. So full count.
Yeah, you can see why he'd be a tough at bat. He's effectively wild, and he's got good stuff though. That's the issue. You want to be aggressive with him, but A's need to be patient, make sure they get a pitch over the plate.
And he walks it. Elias was way ahead in the count, ends up walking him. And here's our Geico quote of the game. It's Billy Butler on his 5th career triple yesterday and his first since 2012. Quote, the only thing I thought about right after I got that triple was that it took away from my double total. That's a guy who generally hits a lot of doubles. The left fielder fell down. And
you just hate to see that column and it says 1. I think that was his first since, what, 2012?
A stand-up triple, we should add, even though the left fielder did bang against the left field wall and stayed down.
Billy knows he's here to hit. He's not here to do some speed on the bases.
There's a good breaking ball, and it's called a strike. Butler thought maybe it was low. A big, sharp breaking ball. Marty Foster and Billy Butler having a conversation, an ongoing conversation.
Yeah, and that's not good.
Here's the pitch. It could have been a little low, maybe come around the plate. I think you could probably see where a hitter would argue a little bit on that.
Yeah. You got to be careful though when you're arguing with these guys at first at bat.
You
got 4 to go, buddy. Yeah. You better butter them up a little bit.
Fastball inside.
You know, sometimes the best thing to do when that happens, you go back in, you see the video, and you go, you know what? That might have been a strike. And you go back to Marty your next at bat and say, Marty, I got that one wrong.
Hard to do though, probably.
Shouldn't be.
2-2 is hit hard, fair. Zobrist around second, digging for third. Gutierrez picks it up, and they're going to hold Zobrist up. So Gutierrez hustled over there, and he picked it up cleanly. And if he juggles it or drops it at all, Zobrist probably scores, but
yeah,
Gutierrez was able to get to it cleanly.
Comes back with that fastball on the inside part of the plate, and Billy quick with his hands, and the ball looked like that ball bounced, hit the chalk and bounced right over the third base there. And the right kind ball goes right to him. Franklin fields it. You got Ben going right away. There's 2 strikes. He's thinking scoring. You got Gags down the line. Saw that the transition was clean, and he's got second and third.
So here's Fegley. First pitch to Fegley is off speed, drops low.
Yeah, Billy's been covering the whole plate lately. Off speed pitches, fastballs. Brought his hands in nicely. It's a good piece of hitting by Billy.
Swing and a miss. You know, we talk about the term and phrase that's used a lot with hitters is loading up on your back leg.
Yeah.
Well, if you're at home and you're not sure what that means, that last replay of Billy Butler, that's what it means to load up on your back leg.
Yeah,
get your weight on your back leg. Watch the load.
And he's got a really good load. Now the key is the front leg. Where you don't want to do is get that load on that back leg, and the front leg drifts, and you get disconnected. He does a good job of staying soft on that front side.
So the power really comes from the back leg and the back hip, right?
Yeah, the phrase is violent with the back side and soft with the front side. And I think Billy does a really good job of that. You know, the toughest part about when you're doing that, though, is timing. When do you go back and get that load? And when Billy's going right, that's not even an issue for him. He just senses it. When the pitcher's coming, he gets that good load, soft on the front side, and just releases the hand.
So it's got to be frustrating, though, if your timing is off and you can feel it's a little bit off.
Yeah, definitely.
1-2 the count to Fegley. Base hit, could score 2. It's popped foul. So Elias is in trouble here in the first.
It's very similar to a leg kick. I think that's why I was so streaky too in my career during Oakland. And, you know, sometimes that leg kick was on time. I'd get my foot down. Sometimes it'd be late. Sometimes I'd be out in front.
Just foul at the plate. So 24 pitches here in the first inning, and Elias retired the first 2 hitters on ground balls, but then the walk and the Butler double. Outfield is pretty shallow. I think they'd like to have a shot at Butler if there's a base hit to the outfield, and that one is looped over first, fair. And Butler will score. Fegley is going to dig for second, and it's 2-0. The A's lead. So a 2-out rally gets the A's a pair.
That's just a great piece of hitting by Josh right here. That pitch was about 1.5 feet outside. Looked to be a changeup. Just protecting the plate. Running down the line saying, sit, Ubu, sit. It's a big 2-out, 2 RBI knock for Josh right there. get Kazmir some run support early.
So Fegley gets RBIs 16 and 17, and here's Reddick.
It's like Jeter used to say when I played with him in New York. They're all hits, pretty or not.
Strike called to Reddick, who's hitting .287 with 11 home runs, 49 RBIs. So good numbers across the board for Reddick. Swing and a miss on that slider. It's a good one from Reyes.
Yeah, he's going to be tough on lefties. The righties are going to need to do some damage today. The first pitch was that crossfire fastball, and then he comes back, drops his arm slot a little bit. That slurve I was talking about, and Josh just pulls off of it just a little bit.
Another slider. 2-2 the count. .327 against right-handers, .156 against left-handers for Reddick. Fegley with his lead. Roll to the backstop to keep the count at 2-2. So a 2 spot for the A's here in the first. Fegley just lofted one down the right field line.
You know, I think when you're looking at that left-handed average for Josh there, at one time you just got to get committed to sitting on off speed versus left-handers and just knowing at least one pitch in that at bat, that off speed pitch, you're going to get it. You just can't miss it.
Checked his swing, no swing, and hits a full count. 31 pitches now for Elias here in the first inning.
But that's easier said than done when the guy's throwing 92 and drop down on the left side of the rubber. Your first inclination is to open up that front hip and kind of pull off the ball a little bit.
So the A's are making the young lefty work. Not a great ratio, 13 balls, 18 strikes.
It's a big pitch right here.
And Reddick went around as they check. And Mike Malinsky said that Reddick swung. So that ends the inning, but 2 runs on 2 hits and a walk. So after 1, the A's lead it 2-0. By PG&E, together building a better California. So the A's, thanks to Fegley's 2-out, 2-run double, a 2-0 lead here in the second inning. Kazmir will face Seager, Gutierrez, and Trumbo. So the shift is on for Kyle Seager, hitting .258. With 12 home runs, 38 runs batted in. So a shutdown inning chance for Scott Kazmir. Seager bounces one slowly. Simeon comes to the right side, flips just in time to get Seager. One out here in the second inning.
Yeah, the A's over in the shift. Mark's a little bit out of position, comes over and fields practically a routine ball to second base and makes a pretty nice play. He's looked really good his first 3 plays of this ball game.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Are you as surprised as we are about the amount of shifts that are played now? Or could you see it coming a little bit when you were finishing up your career, which was really not very long ago?
Yeah, I mean, it was becoming a part of the game. I didn't know it would take over the game.
Yeah. It really has, from a defensive standpoint.
Yeah.
We are now surprised when somebody is not shifted somewhere.
From an offensive standpoint, too. Talking about hitters and changing their approach and trying to work the other way and dropping bunts down. You got 4-hole hitters dropping bunts down to beat the shift. So it's really taken over the game.
2-pitch to Gutierrez. Rolled again to Simeon. Flips to first, and that's out number 2.
You could just tell Marcus is going to have a better second half.
Yeah,
he really is.
Better.
I had a good talk with him this morning, talking about the work he's been doing with Wash and how good that's been, and he likes the direction that they're going in right now. And you can tell because he just looks a little bit more comfortable out there. And he said this too. He goes, I'm going to make errors. They're still going to happen, but he's putting in the work, and you can see it's paying off. He's feeling a little bit more comfortable over there.
So here's Trumbo, who swings and misses. Trumbo acquired from the Arizona Diamondbacks. That was on June 3rd. He has not gotten going yet with the Mariners. Just a 151 average.
Yeah, he was swinging it pretty good in Arizona early. And he's definitely a power threat too. He can get hot in a minute, but it's unfortunate. You get traded from one team. Last year he's over to Arizona. He gets hurt. Starts to get comfortable with the new surroundings and team and hitting in Arizona, and you're shipped off to another team. So it's part of the business that isn't that fun.
Zobrist, he grabs it, and it's an 8-pitch inning for Scott Kazmir. He's gone 6 up, 6 down. Bottom of the second coming up. He's leading 2-0. in attendance tonight. So we hope he's having a good time. Probably still celebrating. Why not? Here's Laurie, followed by Canna and Simeon. And the first pitch is a fastball on the outside corner for a strike.
That was a pretty exciting NBA championship.
That was good. Yeah. And a quick 0-2 to Laurie. A couple of fastballs from Elias. He threw 31 pitches, make it 32 pitches in the first inning. Bounce toward first as Logan Morrison charges. He steps on the bag. So Harrison Barnes threw out the first pitch. So a little practice. Looks like a little bit of a short armor, which is a concern. Let's see how he does.
That's a big wingspan to be a short armor.
I'm telling you, I was watching him practice. That's a short armor. Although it was a pretty good pitch.
That's all that matters.
So he's going to sit back, enjoy the ball game. Elias has it, flips to first, and Canna is retired. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning for Marcus Simeon.
Yeah, let's see if Marcus can make him work here. I mean, the last thing you want to do after that long first inning is go 1, 2, 3. And have him only throw a few pitches. So Marcus needs to have a good deep at bat here, or get on base.
Simeon, 258 with 6 home runs and 18 RBIs. He was 2 for 12 in the series against the Rockies. Struggling a little bit offensively lately. 3 for his last 24. Shoots that one down the right field line, but foul.
Yeah, he was talking a little bit about that back foot when he goes to hit. It kind of slides out from behind him, and he loses his balance a little bit. You could see it slide back there, and him and Bushy have been trying to work on that and keep him stable. And you need good balance. You need good legs to hit, and you got to push the energy into the ground. Transfers all the way up through the bat. The ground is so important. You got to utilize it. Put pressure into it. But when you have a bad habit, you can see his foot completely off the ground there, and
it's like it moves about a foot.
You just lose energy.
So if your foot is off the ground, you can't push off with that.
I meant just the analogy too is if you're trying to steal a base and you're going to go to second, would you ever take off one of your feet off the ground and you're going to push into the ground and accelerate towards second? And it's kind of the same concept.
Well, now we got something to watch for. Marcus Simeon, see if he can get that corrected. Lines that one to left, but right there is Gutierrez, side retired. So 3 up, 3 down inning for Elias, and we're on to the third. 2-0 A's lead.
4th of July game, donate 5 items or a minimum of $10 to receive a Sean Doolittle autographed photo card and an A's Military Appreciation pin. A's wives and girlfriends will be collecting items behind section 120 from 11:05 a.m. until the end of the 3rd inning.
So top of the 3rd inning. It'll be Morrison, Zunino, and Taylor. Kazmir has gone 6 up, 6 down so far. And 1 strikeout, 4 ground ball outs. And 0-1 to Logan Morrison, hitting .245, 9 home runs, 26 RBIs. There's the shift. And Morrison breaks his bat. Zobrist has to charge in and then hustle his throw to first. So 1 out here in the 3rd. Here's our true story brought to you by McDonald's. Struggles by the Mariners. There's their record coming into tonight's game. And they just have not been able to get rolling, although they have played well against the Athletics with 5-1 records so far. Seattle last lost season series versus the A's back in 2012. So the runs per game against the A's has been pretty good, but boy, it's really tough to figure out, Eric, but they are second to last in the league in runs scored. Their batting average is the lowest, the fewest hits. They're second to last in slugging. They're last in on base percentage. With runners in scoring position, they're hitting .209. You can go on, and it's really strange because they have the last 4 or 5 years struggled offensively, but this year they said, okay, last year we get Cano, this year we get Cruz. Seager's become an all-star type player. Now we get Trumbo, and it hasn't fixed the problem.
Yeah, it's a little hard to figure out. I think that's why a few weeks back they went and they brought on Edgar Martinez as their hitting coach.
That's right.
I don't think there was a better hitter when he was coming through. When I played with him, he was just phenomenal.
Vogt grabs it in foul territory. There's Edgar Martinez, so he's trying to get this thing figured out, but it's a tough situation right now for the Mariners because the expectations are extremely high this year, and the pitching's been okay, maybe not quite as good as expected, but it's just the lineup just has not been able to get going.
Yeah, and baseball it's contagious. And really what you got to do is you got to change your philosophy at the plate. And we all got good swings at this level. That's not the issue. It's between the ears is the problem when they step into the box. And I went and I looked at Robinson Cano's numbers, and I was wondering what was going on there. And he's hitting the ball just as hard, but his issue is he's pulling the ball, and he has more swing and misses out of the zone, and especially with 2 strikes. So that has nothing to do with your swing. It has to do with your approach, and I think that's where they got to start right now.
And maybe with a guy like Cano, he knows they're struggling. Maybe he's trying to do a little more, and it's having a negative effect on his numbers.
He had a great year last year, not power-wise though. So that's what everybody talked about. He had a good year, but he didn't hit home runs. So you go ahead and you try to start pulling the ball, and you're in Yankee Stadium. You're a great hitter. You spray the ball, use the whole field. Come to Safeco, little different dimensions. Ball doesn't travel as far. And you start doubting yourself a little bit. People start talking about, well, where's your power? So you start trying to hit for power. You pull the ball. And all of a sudden you find yourself in a 3-month slump.
So maybe an adjustment, but still a good year last year. I mean, but something's not there this year.
Yeah. Well, I actually we were talking about ailments. He told me on the way down to the cage that he's had a stomach ailment too since spring training, where he can't keep any food down, and he's lost tons of weight. So,
and you know what? That's something that not a lot of people know.
Right, and
obviously the Mariners know about it.
Right, well, that could be a factor too. You never know. He's too good of a hitter. He's got one of the sweetest swings, left-handed swings. For him to struggle for this long, there's definitely a medical issue going on with him, and a strength factor. And he did look really skinny to me, a lot skinnier than I've seen him in the past. So.
Right back to Kazmir, who scoops it, throws, and they got it. Kazmir almost took too much time. So 9 up, 9 down for Scott Kazmir. Bottom of the third coming up. It'll be the top of the order for the Athletics. And the A's lead 2-0.
It's the old shell game, folks. Keep your eye.
For tonight, Billy Burns' highest average versus off-speed pitches. 382, followed by D. Gordon, Yunel Escobar, Bryce Harper. So Burns and Gordon, well, I mean, same type of guys, right? Speed, slap the ball around a little bit. So does that mean that if you're a pitcher, you should just pump heaters in there to Billy Burns? I don't know.
Analytics will tell you that.
That's right.
And he started him off with a good changeup right there. So you still got to make quality pitches. I mean, regardless of what the numbers say. And he backs it up with a curveball right there. So obviously the Mariners have not seen that statistic. But regardless, he's played great.
Scooped up by Taylor, and he throws in time to get Burns. So Burns has grounded out a couple times. So that'll bring up Stephen Vogt. One out here in the bottom of the third. He's got 2 in the first, and Fegley's 2 out. 2-run double. Vogt grounded out in the first inning.
You know, I think these A's hitters could take all the way to 3-2, and he would go 3-2 with every hitter.
He seems like a guy who will throw a lot of pitches and not necessarily pitch deep into games. The deepest he has gone this year is 7 2/3, but that was just one time.
Yeah, and you could see right away. I mean, with his delivery and deception, that's what causes him to miss the zone. His arm slot changes all the time. He's falling off to the third base side, and it's hard to be consistent and deliver strikes consistently like that. He's got good stuff, though. I mean, he's got a plus fastball and a good slurve, good changeup. Let's see why they like him.
And there's the slider, and he gets his second strikeout. So 2 outs. This is what Elias does before the game. He's got a lot going on. This is about a half hour before the game. Get the arm loose, but there's more to it.
Well, those lefties are weird, aren't they?
He's getting after it.
I actually like that. Get the heart going a little bit. Looking athletic to me.
He hasn't thrown a warm-up pitch yet. Yeah, he will not be accused of not being ready. But you're right. That may not be such a bad idea.
Yeah, whatever it takes. I don't care what you got to do.
Well, he's retired 6 in a row since the Fegley double. Just a touch low. 2-1. Zobrist walked and scored. In fact, his at bat was a big at bat. I mean, you know, his first inning, 2 outs, but 2 outs, nobody on. He walks, and then back-to-back doubles, and the A's get 2 runs.
Yeah, and he was behind in the count too. A really good at bat by Ben. Just a professional all the way around, from the right and the left side. We'll see what his future holds here too for the next few weeks. He's really got to just start putting together a winning streak like we've been talking about. And you got to win 6, 7 in a row. And if not, that deadline coming up, you got to start thinking about possibly moving some guys and acquiring some young talent and retooling for 2016.
A's are 36-45, so 9 games under 500. And you got a road trip coming up to New York and Cleveland. So the Yankees 5 games over, and the Indians have been playing much better as of late. They're getting good pitching, so that will lead you up to the All-Star break.
Okay, so Cleveland and then the All-Star break.
Yeah, so you got 6, and then you got 3 more in this series after tonight. So you got 9 games left after tonight before the All-Star break. And at that point, you're in the middle of July.
Yeah. 7-3, 8-2. I think that's what they're looking for. I mean, they got to get as close to 500 as possible, and when they get to 500, they can take off. But they got to show the front office that they're a team to contend with.
So a good changeup on 3-2. So a couple of strikeouts for Elias in the 3rd, and we're on to the 4th. 2-0 A's lead. Go back to yesterday's game. Jesse Hahn got his 6th win of the year. He went 6 innings, 4 hits, just a run with 6 strikeouts against the Rockies. So between Jesse Hahn and Kendall Graveman, the 2 youngsters in the A's rotation, they have really started to pitch well. When you get young pitchers showing a little bit of consistency, that is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, he had a good live fastball yesterday too. A lot of swing and misses. Got to work on consistency with that curveball. He's got a very good curveball, and at times he'll just kind of hang it and leave it up in the zone, and at times he'll bounce it. The good pitchers, they know to make that pitch, do that when they want to, when it's an 0-2 pitch and they want to bounce it.
So it looks like Jesse Hahn will start on Tuesday at Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium, the home that Eric Chavez built. Right?
Yeah, me and that other guy. Who's that other guy? We talked about Seattle and their struggles, and you made a good point. I'm looking at their lineup. There's not really a true leadoff guy that they have, and Austin's hit leadoff before, but he's not your prototypical on base, see pitches, get on base, cause havoc, and they have guys that can knock people in. They don't have anybody on base to knock in.
No, I agree, and you know what? And they've been that way for a while. And I think Austin Jackson's a very good player. I always thought he was better off hitting 6th or 7th. I think
even lower,
do some
even 9. You turn over the lineup, you have another leadoff hitter at the bottom of the lineup.
But I mean, Ichiro was, he was on base all the time. He was a very fine leadoff hitter. But since Ichiro left, they just really haven't. And when Ichiro was there, they didn't have a lot of guys to drive him in.
Well, and they also signed Sean Figgins to do that, and that really didn't work out either for him. So.
And a swing and a miss. So that's the second strikeout for Kazmir. So here's Robinson Cano. Some of the struggles that Eric talked about. This is versus off-speed pitches. So basically anything that's not a fastball. Boy, look at the average. 204 against off-speed pitches. Obviously everything's down. Swing and misses are up.
Yeah.
And that's a surprise.
Yeah.
Because he is such a terrific hitter.
Well, he went 4 for 5 yesterday, so maybe he. But the pants up kind of worries me a little bit, because when you got a guy who wears pants down his whole career and he's going pants up, that tells me there's a little doubt going on in there.
But getting back to the conversation we were having about some type of speed guy, and I know, talking to some scouts that felt the same way about when they traded for Mark Trumbo.
Right.
And again, this is just kind of baseball talk. The Mariners certainly know what they're doing, but the subject matter was what they really need is a speed guy, somebody who can kind of create, maybe steal a bag, hit a ball in the gap. They have some Trumbos already.
Right.
And that's nothing against Mark Trumbo. It's just the style of player that he is may not be the thing they need to get that offense going.
Right. What they have is a lineup of streaky hitters, other than Nelson Cruz, and even Seager's had a down year a little bit, and you got Morrison who hit the ball out of the park, but he's at a 245 clip. So Zunino 9 homers, 165 average. So they've got the guys that can hit the ball out of the park, just not the guys to get on base consistently. And
they need a disruptor.
They do, big time. And that's a lost start in the game, I think.
That's true. Just foul. Yeah, there's not a lot of them. No, you're right.
I mean, even Hamilton in Cincinnati, he's still on bases, but you'd still like to see him get on base more.
Yeah. So 2-2 to Robinson Cano. Lines that one foul. But you know, the kind of player that maybe we're talking about, they're not out there growing on trees either.
Well, we got one in center field playing for the A's.
I mean, you're just not. It's a.
It's
a little bit of a lost art, and they're hard to find.
Yeah, you got to embrace that role. You really do. I think that's why Billy does so good. I mean, he knows he's got to keep the ball on the ground. He slaps it around, doesn't try to do too much.
Cano down the left field line, foul. Now, if you could get a Ricky Henderson, you'd be okay.
Man, are we ever going to see another player like that?
You know what? That's a good question. I mean, who's like Ricky Henderson now, or not, or anything close to it? A guy who is a leadoff hitter.
That's what I'm saying. You got Mike Trout, he's unbelievable, but
not bad leadoff. Swing and a miss. All right, breaking ball. Back-to-back strikeouts for Kazmir.
Yeah, we're talking about Cano struggling with off-speed pitches, and Cavs comes back with a good slider there in the dirt. And once again, this is not his swing. This is pitch selection. That's a ball in the dirt, not even close to being a strike, and that's what the numbers were telling me when I was looking up at Robbie, is his swings out of the zone, and especially with 2 strikes. So Cavs definitely taking advantage of that.
So 2 outs, and here's Nelson Cruz. Cruz struck out in the first. Cruz with 20 home runs and 48 RBIs. Boy, remember he got off to such a terrific start. He had 10 home runs in the month of April. He has slowed down some, but still having a very fine season.
20 home runs at the break.
That ain't bad. Yeah, he's doing fine.
It's pretty impressive.
The home run leader is Albert Pujols in the American League. He's got 24. Trout has 21, and then Cruz has 20. J.D. Martinez from the Tigers has 20. Although I think he hit one today. Swing and a miss. Kazmir strikes out the side. All 3 swinging. So Kazmir is perfect through 4 innings, and we're going to the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 the A's lead.
Available for select games. The Summer Suite Special includes an 18-person suite, 3 VIP parking passes, and a generous food package, all for only $990. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or visit athletics.com/summersuite.
Billy Butler to lead it off. So both pitchers settling in nicely. Elias has retired 7 in a row since the Fegley 2-run double. Billy Butler, his double in the first inning, put runners at second and third right before the Fegley hit. Fouled straight back, got a fastball to hit, and had a good swing at it.
Healthy cut. You know he's feeling good when you take a swing like that.
And Butler now 8 hits in his last 14 at bats. Had a big series against the Rockies. A slider in for a strike. So 2-2 the count. Fegley to follow, and then Reddick here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Hit high and foul down the right field line. Not a real big crowd tonight, so you got a pretty good shot at a foul ball. That gentleman just stayed seated. Reached up, made the catch. Foul tip to the backstop, so the count remains 2-2. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts for Elias. The 1 walk was a big one. It was Zobrist in the first. Breaking ball kind of hung up and hung out there, and Butler fouled it back. You could see Elias kind of show a little unhappiness with the location of that pitch. Seager charges, gets a nice hop. So Butler is out, and that's 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th.
Now batting the catcher, number 19.
Yeah, Josh coming up with a big hit right here with a changeup about 1.5 feet off on the outside part of the plate, and sticks his bat out there, and sometimes things and good things happen.
Curveball for a strike to Fegley.
He's had a nice year.
Yeah, he has, and he's handled left-handed pitching extremely well, to the point where, well, lately when he's in the lineup against the lefty, Bob Melvin has him hitting 5th.
Yeah.
Fegley coming into tonight hitting .340 against left-handed pitching, so that's a
bat
nice
you got to have
option
in there. Yeah.
And he swings at a high fastball and misses, so 2 away here in the 4th. So Elias now 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, you can see he expanded the zone on that first at bat, and there too, a fastball
Right
up out of the zone, and
22, Josh Reddick.
Elias putting that pitch in a good spot where Josh just couldn't lay off of it. And we talked about the importance of making him throw strikes. Make him get the ball over the plate.
So first pitch fastball in there, first strike. He's got a pretty good rhythm going right now, does Elias?
I've been watching him the last couple of hitters, and he changes his position on the pitcher's mound by the hitter. So a right-hand hitter, he'll move to the middle. A lefty, he'll move all the way over to the left side.
So that makes it even more difficult on the left-handed hitter. Almost looks like the ball's coming from behind you.
Yeah, but when we talked about being consistent, it just adds another level of difficulty for you. I mean, we talk about his arm angle and dropping down and the violent wind-up in motion.
Yeah, he's over about as far as you can to the first base side of the rubber.
Yeah, and I was watching him against Josh, and he was lined up right in the middle, and he's an all-effort kind of guy. He kind of gets that good load on that back leg, and that arm angle will change pitch to pitch.
Ty Waller handles it.
When you've got so much moving pieces like that, that looks more like a left-handed specialist out of the pen than I think what you were referring to too, as a starter who throws strikes and works fast, but he does have good stuff. That's for sure. This would be an uncomfortable at bat for me.
So 3-2 now to Reddick, who struck out swinging to end the first inning.
So 3-2 his last at bat too. He threw that slider down. So let's see what Josh is thinking here and what Elias is thinking also. That cat and mouse game.
And a slider inside corner called a strike. So Reddick can't believe it, but rolling along is Renis Elias as he has a 3-up, 3-down inning, 2-0 after 4.
Going through the heart of the order. Austin Jackson, high fastball. See you later. Robinson Cano, slider in the dirt. And the fastball away. The 0-2 fastball to strike out Nelson Cruz. And looks like Scotty's found a groove.
Home ERAs, Scott Kazmir 1.63, second best behind Dallas Keuchel. That's in the American League.
Dallas Keuchel's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Yep. Rolling along. Scott Kazmir, he's rolling along. He's retired the first 12 in this game as he faces Seager, Gutierrez, and Trumbo. Seager grounded out to short. Shift is on. And there's a strike. Seager 1 for 11 in his career against Kazmir. It's the slider, and Seager's able to lay off. Seager is yet to get rolling. He does have 38 RBIs.
12 homers. He had a real breakout season last year.
Well, he broke out enough that he got a 7-year contract for $100 million. So
that's a good.
That's
number.
breaking out. Yeah,
that's good. Breaking out the checkbook too. That's good. I mean, it tells you Seattle's live. I mean, they're competitive. They believe they can win. And
he chases that one. 4 consecutive strikeouts for Scott Kazmir. All swinging.
Yeah, Scotty's got everything going. He's attacking. He's throwing strikes early. And he's got that good slider down and away to Seager right there, and he just can't lay off of it.
So with 1 out, here's Gutierrez. Good to see Gutierrez back in the big leagues. He's had an awful stretch with injuries. Seems like he's had a little bit of everything.
Going back, what, 4 years?
Oh, yeah, at least, yeah. In fact, he last appeared in a big league game in September of 2013. That was right here in Oakland. But as far as being an everyday player, it's been 4 or 5 years. And there was a time when he was a very good all-around player.
Outstanding center fielder. Makes some great plays over in Safeco, covering all that ground. Hit you some homers too.
Terrific outfielder. Gold Glove winner in 2010, but boy. Last full season as far as being healthy is 2010. He had 245 with 12 home runs.
Wow.
And then after that, that's when the strange array of injuries hit. And he lines this one down the right field line fair. And that's the first hit of the game, and it's going to be extra bases. Gutierrez still runs pretty well, and he'll have a stand-up double. So Kazmir retires the first 13 before the Gutierrez double. So first double since September 18th of 2013.
Yeah, just a very good job of hitting right there. Takes that fastball away, not trying to do too much. Kept the eyes on it, heads down. Hit it where it's pitched. Good piece of hitting.
So here's Trumbo. Trumbo popped out to end the second inning.
This guy's batting practice, by the way.
Pretty good. Huh?
My
Fun to watch.
goodness.
Trumbo fouls that one down the right field. Batter retired percentage with runners in scoring position. 73% this year. With 2 outs, 83%. best in the big league. So if he gets in a jam, he's able to get out of it.
That's just a veteran pitcher bearing down when he needs to and make good quality pitches. Doesn't panic when guys get on base.
Outside to Trumbo, 1-1 the count. Logan Morrison, a left-handed hitter, is in the on-deck circle. And Trumbo holds that bat out front. Trumbo had 3 full years with the Angels, 11, 12, and 13. And in those 3 years, his home run totals were 29, 32, and 34. So there's plenty of power there.
Plenty.
He's just a little bit streaky, and he's going to strike out a lot.
Yeah, he's very streaky. I mean, he's got a really short swing for a big guy, too. I mean, he swings really hard. He's got pop the other way.
And he will do that. He will chase a little bit, and I know we've seen him where he's super hot and he's tough to get out. We've seen him where he'll go a month where he just doesn't look right at all.
Yeah, and that pitch isn't even close to the zone. I mean, it's not your swing. I keep going back to that, but it's get a good pitch to hit strikes first of all.
2-2 pitch, here it is, and that is one of the worst swings I've ever seen.
It's not a swing, Kype.
It's a pass. He passed at the ball.
I mean, look at that.
Logan.
I mean, I've swung at some really bad pitches before, but I mean, there's too much going on in his head. That's overthinking it right there, pal. And right after he knew it, he's like, "Oh, are you kidding me? I just swung at that? Good gracious!"
So our job is to tell people what happened and tell them why it happened, and sometimes we can't do that because we don't know how that just happened. Here's Morrison, who takes a bit outside. But on a serious note, I think your point is probably the most accurate. There's got to be he's trying to.
Right.
I mean,
is it my hands? That my shoulders feel good? My feet? My stance? My BP swing? My bat? Hey, wait a minute. See the ball. Get a good pitch to hit.
And I think for a major league player to swing at a pitch that far out of the strike zone, it's got to be a mental thing because he did it twice.
Yes.
The pitch before that was quite a ways outside. So 1-1 is the count to Morrison. Logan Morrison can say that he hit it so hard he ripped the cover off the ball. Right off the end of the bat.
Look at the spin on that.
Jam shot. Zobrist charges. Throws in time, and Morrison is retired for the second time, and Gutierrez is stranded at second base. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Still 2-0 A's lead. He's brought to you by Kelly Moore Paints, the painter's paint store. So the night has cooled off here at the Coliseum. A's with a 2-0 lead, bottom of the 5th inning. Whoa, it's getting windy up here. We need some paperweights. Did you lose anything?
Something. I've had that happen 3 times to me today.
You gotta be ready.
Gust of winds.
You've always had quick reactions. You gotta be ready. Pretend it's a shot down the line.
Well, you're supposed to give me the heads up. You're a veteran at this. Yeah. I'm a rookie.
Cell phones are good paperweights.
Rookie hazing.
2-0 to Laurie. And that one poured in their first strike. Laurie grounded out to first. His first at bat. Canada followed, then Simeon. And Elias pitching very well for the Mariners, but it was a 3-batter stretch in the first inning that did him in. Since then, he's retired 11 in a row.
Yeah, A's need an add-on run here, big time. I mean, 3 runs compared to 2, giving Scotty that extra run support. You got to have a feeling that Seattle's going to have a little offensive comeback here in the next few innings and put some runs on the board. So the A's definitely got to add on here.
Swing and a miss, and a pretty good pitch from Elias, and he has his 6th strikeout. In fact, he has struck out 5 out of the last 6.
Now batting left fielder.
Run support has been an issue for Elias. It's happening again tonight. He's got 6 strikeouts, and he has walked 1.
Yeah, it's tough to pitch too when you're behind. If you get that lead, it really can settle you in. And I've heard a couple of the A's comments talking about that. When the A's put up some early runs, they really settle in and they get comfortable. So
Canna bounced back to the pitcher in the 2nd inning. This one's tapped slowly up the line, but foul. First place Astros are off today. They will be at Boston over the weekend for a 3-game series. Astros have won 4 in a row after sweeping the Royals, but the Astros got some bad news today with George Springer, their very fine young outfielder. He was hit by a pitch last night, fractured wrist.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, and he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. So 6 to 8 weeks is going to take you to the end of August, if you're lucky.
Well, we're going to see if they're the real deal now.
And they had moved Springer to the cleanup spot, or not the cleanup spot, the leadoff spot, and he was doing a great job hitting in the leadoff spot. 13 home runs for Springer, but you're right, Astros are going to have to figure out what to do without one of their best young players for a couple months.
I love that move too to the leadoff spot. You know, we're talking about changing the mindset, and we saw Springer when he was here. Sometimes he's pretty big, with his swing. So mentality, he's like, I'm a leadoff hitter now. You know, I'm gonna get good pitches to hit. Just try to put it in play. Doesn't mean he's not going to hit his home runs, because he's still going to do that, but it kind of helps out his mindset a little bit.
It was working while he was in that leadoff spot. 2-2 to Canna. Hit hard to the shortstop, scooped up by Taylor on a nice play. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
I think managers are more apt to putting some of their better hitters in the 2-hole, putting them in front of the 3 and 4-hole hitters to maybe see some better pitches. But I do like that move, moving Springer to the leadoff spot.
Angels are also off today. They will be at Texas this weekend. So Angels and the Rangers going at it down in Arlington. 3-game set. Speaking of those Rangers, they beat the Orioles 2-0. That was a 0-0 game into the 9th inning, and the Rangers got a pair in the top of the 9th. Gallardo got a no decision, but He pitched terrific, and he has been pitching extremely well for Texas. That one hit to left, down the line, and that baby's gone. A's get another run. It's 3-0 here in the bottom of the 5th.
It's a great sign for the A's and Marcus getting that add-on run and had that good swing in the first inning. Line drive to left and comes back right there and takes it over the left field wall into the barbecue pit.
Pitch was down, and Simeon's swing is almost like a left-handed hitter's swing. He's a good low ball hitter.
Yeah, very good.
When you watch where this pitch is, it was the lower part of the strike zone.
In and down, and he dropped the head on it.
So here's Burns. Slider on the outside corner for a strike. Watch the location.
Yeah, you can see the catcher set up. Zunino on the outside part of the plate kind of slides over to middle in and down, and Marcus with that good swing. You saw his back foot right there stay on the ground, by the way.
See what happens when your back foot stays on the ground?
That's all you got to do. That's just a good adjustment by Marcus right there. That first at bat. Foot sliding out.
So Billy Burns is retired on the strikeout. So 7 strikeouts, but another run for the A's thanks to Marcus Simeon. A solo shot. 3-0 after 5.
All-Star Game ballot now at athletics.com. Voting is exclusively online and available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. Vote up to 35 times at athletics.com.
We got a half hour to vote. Ends tonight. So if you're going to do it, get there now.
I'm a little confused why you can vote 35 times. Why isn't it just one vote? I don't get that.
It's caused some controversy, that's for sure.
I mean, is somebody going to vote 14 times instead of 35?
Probably not. You're going to probably go the full route. But voting ends tonight. Starters announced on Sunday. Reserves announced on Monday for the All-Star game in Cincinnati. Scott Kazmir rolling along. He's allowed just 1 hit. First pitch strikes, 13 of 17. No walks, 6 strikeouts. Only the double by Gutierrez. And that one.
Come on, Marty.
Call the ball. 3-1.
And not only are they first pitch strikes, they're quality strikes. They're on the corner and nothing over the heart of the plate.
Zunino may have swung at ball 4.
A lot of swings and misses out of the zone tonight.
Zunino has 219 at bats this year, and he's got 90 strikeouts. And he's hitting 165. And he's going to strike out again on the inside corner. Good pitch by Kazmir. So 7 strikeouts. Scott Kazmir against the West this year. A perfect 4-0. 6 starts. Get out of the division, though. He has yet to win a game. 0-5. This is his first start this year against the Seattle Mariners. Had a couple of starts last year, no decision in the loss. But with 3 more series left against Seattle, I'm sure Kazmir will get a start. Another start.
There really is no rhyme or reason to why that happens. It's just the numbers at the end of the day, they figure out themselves.
One and 1 the count to the shortstop Chris Taylor, just called up today. The Mariners designated for assignment Willie Bloomquist, who
oh really? That's why I didn't see him out there in BP. Okay,
just today, this morning. Right, Delory, who scoops it up. 2 outs. I would think Willie Bloomquist, he's been around a long time.
Yeah,
he's
good career.
He can play in the outfield, can play in the infield. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody grabs Willie Bloomquist.
Jackson.
Yeah, he's a dying breed. I mean, he's really made a good career out of being a backup. And
yeah, I always thought he was a tough out.
Yeah, very much so. Plays the game hard.
Yeah. Good
teammate.
I say he has a team by Monday. Ooh. That's my game. Yeah, he's made a minor move today. They picked up a right-handed reliever named Cody Martin from the Atlanta Braves. And to make room on the roster, the 40-man roster, Nate Fryman was designated for assignment. Cody Martin will go to AAA Nashville. He's had a little bit of big league time in Atlanta. So a right-handed reliever.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of moves these next few weeks from a lot of teams. Some big names out there too, possibly being on the block. Cole Hamels, Johnny Cueto.
Pop-up foul.
You know, I was thinking about this earlier, Kai. I was looking at Bleacher Reporter, any baseball website. There's a lot going on in baseball.
Well, there's a lot of rumors, that's for sure. But
I mean, I'm talking about like DePoto. We got rookies. Vlad Guerrero's 16-year-old son just signed.
That's right. The international signing period started today.
16-year-old, $4 million.
Good genes. Vlad's son. Bad Vlad Jr. So another good inning for Scott Kazmir as he rolls right through the Mariners in the top of the 6th.
Josh Phegley with the 2-out double, 2-out RBI with a changeup out and away, and Kaz has just been dominating from the get-go. Fastball, slider, changeup, he's got it all working tonight. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT, mobilizing your world.
So bottom of the 6th, and the A's with that 3-0 lead. Vogt to lead it off. And Vogt goes after the first pitch, skies it to the second level.
That is awesome.
Reddick and Vogt, there they are. Sort of, kind of, but not really. On the ground to Taylor on 1 hop, and they just get the hustling Stephen Vogt. 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, good swing by Vogt there, and shortstop fields it nicely, and Vogt always running hard down to first. Love to see that effort. He got a shin guard flying there, and you always get 100% from Vogt.
So Zobrist steps in. Walk and a run scored and a strikeout. Just a bit outside. Twins beat the Royals tonight 2-0 in Kansas City. The Royals have lost 4 straight. Gibson over Young with Perkins getting the save. And I bring up that series, Xavi, that's the first of 4. So if you're the Twins, you're like, hey, this is our opportunity.
Yeah, they've been playing good ball this year.
So they're now 3.5 back after that win. So Twins 3.5 behind the Royals. And they got 3 more to play in that series. So that's a big win for the Twins in Kansas City.
It's amazing how quickly it could change. The wind changes very quickly.
The Royals last weekend were here, and they looked terrific. They swept the A's. They haven't won since.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, how do you figure that?
Baseball is just a funny game.
In fact, since leaving here, the Royals have been shut out twice. Pop-up foul. Pirates beat the Tigers 8-4. That's a Pittsburgh sweep in Detroit. The Tigers cannot get rolling. Liriano the winner, Ryan the loser. More action. Taylor charges, throws to first, 2 outs. I still think at some point the Tigers will get rolling. You know they will. Too much talent there. They are a bit puzzling. The Tigers have lost 3 in a row. Of course, they were just swept, as I said. They are now right at 500.
Do the Astros have the best record in baseball?
The Astros have on the ground.
Oh, good play by
Seager throws, and Morrison digs it out, and a nice play on both ends. So Elias, a 3-up, 3-down inning with 3 ground ball outs. We're on to the 7th, 3-0 inning. Sonny Gray's going to definitely be there. I think Stephen Vogt's going to definitely be there. Just my humble opinion.
He deserves to be.
The question is, will Josh Reddick get invited? He certainly has the numbers to back it up. Sometimes the outfield spot can get a little crowded on the All-Star team, but the numbers are there for Reddick, so it'll be interesting. Sonny Gray is a definite. I think Vogt is in, and hopefully Reddick. We think those are the three best All-Star candidates for the Athletics. Scott Kazmir pitching like an all-star tonight. He was last year. He's got 7 strikeouts, 9 ground ball outs, and just a couple of flyouts. He retired 13 in a row. Gave up a double. And since then has retired 5 in a row. Wilhelmsen starts to throw. Robinson Cano tonight, a ground out and a strikeout. Cruz to follow, and then Seager. So the 3 big hitters for Seattle. Cano didn't like that call, so the count 2-2.
Yeah, he's telling Marty, that's low. Kaz, he's been around the strike zone the whole night, so Marty's giving him the benefit of the doubt, but that pitch looked a little low.
He's still talking to him. Cano doesn't do that a lot. 3-2 the count.
He's frustrated. He's fighting. He doesn't want to give up good at bats. He laid off a tough pitch and didn't get the call.
Grounded sharply to Zobrist, who backhands it, straightens up, and throws out Cano for out number 1. So the third at bat for Cano is unsuccessful, and that'll bring up Nelson Cruz.
Number 23, Nelson Cruz.
Cruz has struck out twice. 7 strikeouts for Kazmir. He swings at the pitch and drives it to right. Reddick hustling back. He'll get there, and he makes the catch. 2 outs. So Cruz is retired. He's 0 for 3, and here's Seager.
Yeah, and he's still got popped the other way, and
Now batting,
just kind of hits it off the end there and
Kyle.
gets full extension, just doesn't click it right on the barrel where he wanted to, and Josh running it down.
So here's Seager. Seager has grounded out and struck out. Kazmir has been in complete control tonight. Pumps a fastball in for a strike. The only hit, the Gutierrez double in the 5th inning. That's it. Slider away. Red Sox beat the Blue Jays tonight 12-6. 8 runs in the very first inning for Boston, and then they held on. They had 19 hits total. Wade Miley got the win. David Ortiz, another home run. He's now got 14 on the year and 480 in his career. Seager drives one right center, hit pretty well. Burns back. Burns makes the catch in front of Reddick. So Seager hit that ball pretty well, but in the cool air, it just kind of held up there, and Burns made the catch. 7th inning stretch time from the Coliseum. The A's behind Scott Kazmir, leading 3-0. Sitting on a 3-0 lead, bottom of the 7th inning. Scott Kazmir in total command. Some youngsters enjoying the ball game from a luxury suite. So Fegley to lead it off. Biggest hit in the game belongs to Josh. A 2-run double in the first. New pitcher for the Mariners. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts as Tom Wilhelmsen takes over. 22 appearances for Wilhelmsen. Big, tall right-hander. Fegley to be followed by Reddick and Laurie. Popped up on the infield. It's Cano who grabs it. So Elias goes 6 innings, gives up 3 hits, 3 runs. He did have 7 strikeouts.
You know, he did a pretty good job. It could have been a worse outing, but he really kept them in the game.
How the game would have been different if Zobrist doesn't get a 2-out walk in the first inning. First pitch to Reddick is in the dirt. Couple of strikeouts for Reddick against Elias. Zanino wanted that fastball on the inside part, and Wilhelmsen put it there with a little bit inside. And now 3-0.
I think Josh is pretty happy to see Elias out of the game. Give me a right-hander in there, please. Tommy's got pretty good stuff. He's struggled a little bit this year, but he's got a good live arm.
That one had 93 in first try. He was on the disabled list in the middle of April into the early part of May. Bit of a right elbow injury. Three and 2. Laurie to follow. This one hit high and foul. Looking at the rest of Reddick's numbers as we talked about his all-star chances. He's got 11 doubles. He's got 3 triples. Got an on-base percentage of .348 and a slugging percentage of .471. So the OPS is pretty good. And that one into right field, the base hit. Like Morrison got a glove on it. And Reddick will have a base hit. He's 1 for 3.
Really good at bat by Josh right there. Tom comes back with that big 12-6 curveball and not trying to do too much. Puts the barrel on it, sneaks under Morrison's glove. Gets the edge going.
So hit number 4 for the A's. Here's Laurie, who cues one. Oh, look at the English on that one. And Morrison goes to second, and they called him out. So Morrison took a huge risk, and you could see Mike Eldreddy say he's out, and Mike Eldreddy gets the call from.
Yeah, but there was 2 mistakes here. Lomo never should have gone to second, and Josh really took it for granted. I think he just thought that ball was going to go back to first, and didn't even slide into second too, so that hurt him.
And you know what? He was out.
Yeah, you just don't want to take anything for granted.
Yep.
Don't assume the play's going to go to a certain spot. And
I think too, Xavi, I think if he slides, he's safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
But how about the English on that baseball? Then you'll see that once in a while where a ball will start foul and then go fair. So it's a fielder's choice, 2 outs. 1 the count to Mark Canner. Runner goes, and it's going to be a stolen base for Laurie as the ball pops out of the glove of Zunino.
Yeah, you can see Brett with a big swing here, tries to get it out front, cues it off the end, goes almost foul. You see Lomo breaking. Foul territory comes up. I think everybody was shocked that he went to second right there, including Josh Reddick. So was I, quite frankly. They got away with it.
A breaking ball, and that was called a ball.
Where was it?
Zunino can't.
Where was it, Marty?
Zunino. What? It was right there down the middle.
Don't turn around when you talk to him, Mike.
So 2-1 to Canna. And that was driven to center. Jackson on the move. Jackson still on the move. It's over his head. It's going to score a run. Canna's digging for third. He almost has a flat tire, but he makes it to third.
Thank goodness he's not hurt.
We almost had a blowout. So Canna gets the first triple of his career and knocks in a run, and it's 4-0.
What a good swing you put on that ball. Looks like a fastball away. Nice swing. Doesn't try to do too much with it. Short follow through. That's one thing he was doing early in the season with a big follow through. Hits that ball all the way to right center. Good poke. Makes it to third. Yeah, you love this follow through right here. And a kind of abbreviated stay on it. Drives it off the wall. It's a pretty swing. Ball caroms right past Austin. Allows Mark to round second. Whoa. And a sniper. Oh gosh. Now you can laugh about it. You can laugh about it. You can laugh about it when you know you're not hurt.
So RBI number 28 for Canna. Two and 1 to Simeon. And that one's hit in the air to left, but he just missed it as Gutierrez gets back, reaches up, hauls it inside, retired. Canna with the RBI triple, so we are headed to the 8th. It's now 4-0, the A's lead.
Friday, July 3rd was Salute to Armed Forces Fireworks Night after the A's vs. Mariners 6:05 p.m. contest. Fans can watch the post-game fireworks show from the outfield grass, but as always, on-field capacity is limited. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/fireworks.
So the A's now with a 4-0 lead with Scott Kazmir really in complete control. 1 hit, 7 strikeouts through 7 innings. And that's pitch number 91 for Kazmir.
I promise you there's a lot of scouts in the stands tonight, too.
Boy.
Saw a few of them early in BP.
He's staying fold in left field. Well, listen, whatever happens, he would be attractive to a lot of contending teams, Scott Kazmir. We do not know if the A's will make a deal like that. Hit hard and a base hit. Franklin Gutierrez has the only 2 hits off Kazmir. So leadoff single, here's Trumbo.
Yeah, it's a second good swing off of Kaz right there. Gets a fastball, doesn't miss it, sneaks it right past the diving Brett Lowry. Good effort.
So Trumbo with a pop out and a strikeout. First pitch is in there for a strike. Outside corner to Trumbo.
I think he was committed to taking that pitch.
And of course it was a strike right out over the plate where he likes it.
Oh man.
On the ground to short. Could be 2 out at second. And a double play. 6-4-3. 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Exactly what Kazmir needed.
Yeah, and this is what you want to see out of Marcus. I mean, he just looked real calm and smooth. Delivers a good throw to Ben, and Ben delivers it over to Steven. And those are the plays the A's are going to need him to make. The routine plays consistently night after night. And he's looked pretty smooth tonight. And swinging the bat extremely well, too.
So here's Logan Morrison. First pitch drops low. Morrison has grounded out twice to the second baseman Zobrist, who is playing in with the shift. 15 feet out into the shallow right field is Zobrist. And both ground balls he's had to come in and pick it up near the infield dirt. So 3-0 now to Morrison. Lefty Joel Beimel is loose and ready to go. Kazmir's last 2 starts, he's thrown 112 pitches and 102 pitches. And then tonight, sitting at 99.
He is a workhorse, frontline starter. Takes the ball every 5th day, gives you a chance to win. Really has delivered on everything when the A's signed him, but they thought he would do. He's been that guy, and he's been very good in the A's uniform the last 2 years.
Closing in on 100 innings pitched for the year. He's at the midway point of the season, and Morrison, like an emergency slow motion swing, and he did just get a piece of it. Another 3-2 and a gone right in the back. So Morrison will take first base. So not what Kazmir wanted.
Yeah, that
you can tell by his reaction.
That never feels good, regardless.
Now batting,
You know, left-handed hitter. I'm going to stay in as long as I can here, and gets drilled. Pretty much the only pitch Kaz has missed the whole night.
That's right.
I mean, he has been on point with everything and every pitch.
So here's Zunino. His pitch is outside. With that, we get action in the A's bullpen. Mahika just now getting up. Swing and a miss by Zunino, who has popped out and struck out. Of the 7 strikeouts by Kazmir, 6 have been swinging. 1 looking, and that one was Zunino in the 6th inning. Simeon scoops it. He'll go the short way side. Retired a hit and a runner left. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It's the A's 4 and the Mariners nothing.
Sportsnet California is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 0-2-0 for Seattle, 4-5-0 for the A's. Scott Kazmir, the story, 8 shutout innings, 105 pitches. The only 2 hits that he has allowed, both coming from Franklin Gutierrez. And Josh Fegley, the 2-run double in the 1st inning. He's also added a run in the 5th on Marcus Simeon's solo home run. And Canna with an RBI triple in the 7th. And that is the scoring. And we got a new pitcher for Seattle, lefty Joe Beimel. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Beimel, appearance number 22. Veteran left-hander, he's been around. Backhanded by Taylor, he's got to hurry, and they just get Burns. Billy Burns 0 for 4.
You know, we talked about that stat with Billy hitting off-speed pitches really well, but tonight that's really how the Mariners pitchers have been attacking them. And
Now batting, first
you know, regardless of the numbers, you still got to make your pitches. As long as they're quality pitches, you should be able to get your outs.
So 1 out for Vogt. Pitch is hit right past Mike Gallego foul. It's Mahika, so it looks like Mahika may get the 9th. So I'm thinking somewhere along the line you must have faced Joe Bible. Maybe.
I don't know that I have.
Well, this is where he's been. He started with Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, the Dodgers, Washington, Colorado in 2009 and 2010. Pittsburgh 2011, sat out in 2012 with an injury, and then this is his second year in Seattle. So you may have just missed it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever faced him. I've seen him pitch a bunch of times.
Had a good year last year, 56 games, 2.20 ERA with Seattle. But then what was interesting is he was out there and nobody signed him until the Mariners re-signed him on April 2nd, right before the season started.
Sometimes the business of baseball is not fair and it doesn't make sense, but he's back again, throwing the ball good again.
Yeah. Two and two to Vogt, who has grounded out twice and struck out. And he drills this one toward left center field. But Gutierrez, boy, he still moves around well out there. He got a really good jump, and he tracked it down in left center field.
Like that approach right there off of left-handed pitcher. Steven taking the ball the other way. That's what you got to do facing these lefties. Yeah, he's trying to improve on their record versus left-handed pitchers.
Well, good start tonight. Elias threw pretty well, but the A's also had some decent at-bats against him when they needed to.
Yeah, that's true. And you're right. Ben's at-bat with the walk was probably the biggest.
Oh, one pitch is lined towards center, and that'll be a hit. So hit number 6 for the A's, and it's a single by Zobrist.
It's just a great swing by Ben, recognizing the off-speed pitch.
Designated hitter, number 16.
Barrel down through the ball. Just dropping, falling right in front of Austin Jackson.
So with 2 outs, Butler hits. Butler a double, a ground out, and another ground out. First pitch to Butler is a ball. Swing by Butler.
He's seeing it really.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not the swing Billy Butler had 2 weeks ago, where he was feeling for it a little bit.
Right. And you're definitely going to go through that as the season goes. But you can see that good low, get the front foot down, and release the hounds. He just missed it again. He's taking some really good swings tonight.
So 2-1 now to Butler.
It's a pretty good take right there on that changeup in the dirt. I mean, sometimes as a hitter, the takes can tell you how a hitter's feeling, and that was a real easy, smooth take. You saw the ball early out of Joe's hand and having some good at-bats.
Funny when a guy's struggling, you see the check swing.
Yeah. So you see the Trumbo swing. He's going to kill me too if he hears this.
No check swing. They just watch the ball drop right out of the strike zone. Zunino sets up outside, and the ball stays outside. So 3-1 to Butler. He'll let this one go a little bit.
Yep, and he should. It's the right situation for it. They got a 4-run lead. Got a lefty on the mound, 3-1 count. He's seeing the ball good, feeling sexy. See if he can do some damage right here.
And the pitch is not close, so Butler with a walk.
And the pitchers know too, when you take a good swing, they know, they can sense it. Throws him a 3-1 breaking ball right there, not even close.
Now batting the catcher, number 19.
So tomorrow, a little earlier start on the 3rd of July. J.A. Happ, another lefty, against Jesse Chavez. It'll be a 5:30 is when our coverage starts here on Comcast Sportsnet California. 5:30 A's pregame live. 6:05 the ball game. So remember that. We'll get started an hour earlier tomorrow. There will be fireworks after the game. And then we'll have day baseball on Saturday the 4th of July and a day game on Sunday. A's will travel on Sunday after the game to New York. So we will have an off day in New York on Monday. Usually the team travels.
So you guys will get in about what time?
Yeah, probably 2 a.m. maybe later.
Yeah.
We're hoping it's 2 a.m. Usually the team would travel on Monday, but we're going to leave a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I think that's a smart decision too.
Well, we're seeing, from what I understand, the teams are starting to do that a little bit more. Let everybody get acclimated to the 3-hour time change. Hopefully that happens a little bit, at least, if you're there for the full off day.
Right.
Even though you're going to sleep a little later than usual. Figley in the hole toward Taylor, who fires to second to get the out there side, retired. So a couple of runners left. We're headed to the 9th. The A's going for the shutout. They lead 4-0.
I think this is a pretty easy choice. It's Scotty Kazmir. 8 innings, 7 Ks. Only giving up 2 hits to Austin Jackson right there, but in full command of all his pitches. Really just kind of breezed through the Seattle lineup that's been struggling the whole year. And Scotty put on a show tonight.
So Scott Kazmir will sit back and see if Mahika can get the final 3 outs. Face a pinch hitter Brad Miller. So Edward Mahika trying to finish things off. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. One and one the count to Brad Miller, left-handed hitter. Pretty much the regular shortstop for the Mariners, but did get the night off. Jackson to follow. And now it's 1-2. Jackson and then Cano here in the top of the 9th inning. That one rolled foul. So just a couple of hits for the Mariners, so their struggles continue offensively. Shut out 7 times this year. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. 1 out here in the 9th.
Mojica coming in where Scotty left off, finishes Miller off with a high fastball right there.
Austin Jackson.
Expanding the zone again, which most of the hitters tonight, it kind of seems like a common theme, especially for the Seattle team.
First pitch to Jackson is a fastball for a strike.
And I think you ask, is it the hitters or is it the pitching? And I think in this case it's a little bit of both.
Yep. This one hit toward right. Reddick will be over there near the line, and he makes the catch. So 2 away here in the 9th. He's 1 out away from a shutout. So the A's with 9 shutouts this year. That's the most in the American League. Looking for number 10. Wow. For Scott Kazmir to get his 5th win of the year. So the pitching continues to be, actually the starting pitching continues to be terrific for the A's. Second best team ERA in the American League, coming in at 3.41. First pitch to Cano is hit in the air, right field, and this should do it. And that's the ball game. So the A's get their league-leading 10th shutout of the year, and they do it in fine fashion with a couple of runs early, and Edward Mojica finishes it off. So Scott Kazmir gets his 5th win, and the A's get their 37th win of the year. It took 2 hours and 17 minutes in front of 13,062. Final score in Game 1 of this 4-game series: the Oakland A's 4 and the Seattle Mariners 0. You've been watching A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California, part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's Post Game Live with Brody Brazil and Biff Roberts starts right now.